Oh,
Yeah, look at this.
you can take that one.
I have to put that as. Oh,
How's Scott, say something.
Sorry, yes, I'm here.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Very good, very good. Okay, I'd like to call the Dover Select Board meeting on Tuesday, January 7th, 2025 at 6 p.m. to order. First, business is public comments. It's cold outside. Yes, Jim.
I have a comment about the Bytown in the presentation they presented here.
The Bytown marketing,
Yes,
okay,
so I was looking at that and, you know, I look at the number of clicks, which really don't mean too much to me. But I do know between the two towns, it's been 230,000, which Dover pays 115. The average time spent on those clicks was 22 seconds. And that's what they presented. And I'm asking the select board, why is that a great value?
Joe?
So that's not the only thing that the money is being spent on. I think that's one of the things it's being spent on. So. It's not the or $200,000 is on clicks. It's on advertising, marketing. It's the whole big picture, not just the analyticals that you're thinking about right now.
Well, that's probably most of what I have to go by. Is what was presented.
Do you have a
So-
copy of it?
I do.
Okay.
So I would love to follow up with Tim Dolan to maybe give you a little bit better explanation about all of the funding, where it goes. The 230,000 just doesn't go to paying for clicks. I think Eric could maybe help me out with this too, if he's got a little bit better understanding of it, type thing.
Joe,
I think Eric had a comment in either the last meeting or the meeting before. He was somewhat suspect of the value of the whole program.
I thought it was the Eat Sleep Shop.
Yeah, no, my comments definitely were regarding the value of us paying into Eat Sleep Shop local down in Wilmington, which is not a part of the marketing budget. I'm in full support of our marketing budget as it focuses on getting people here in the months when they're not here skiing. I can talk with Tim, who's the marketing director, and try to get some more analytics for you. We've gone a number of different directions in trying to attain basically numbers beyond the click-through rate that would help us with marketing and sort of getting our business owners to participate by sharing information. We don't have many ways to show that data. I think things like the Van Wango program, we are, I think, going to see the value in, you know, that's the type of thing that's going to help us a little more with the analytics. Prior to my time here in Dover, we did try what was called a dashboard, where business owners would say we can see, you know, 150 tables in a night, and we did 75. The business owners pretty much wholly rejected the dashboard and didn't supply any information to us on that. So we're constantly searching for ways to show that the marketing is working. That click-through rate is just one of those ways.
Again, to reiterate, the 22 seconds per page click. I just don't see any value in supporting at least that piece of the program.
We will take your comments under consideration, and I think we should have Tim give a follow-up presentation of the value of, and actually, I think that 22 seconds per click is a long time. If I watch my children whip through stuff, they're absorbing the stuff, but it's going fast. And, it's just the way the world's going now, unfortunately. Yes, Joe.
So, not that I've spent a lot of time in learning advertising and marketing is, I know that it takes a lot of times for people to see. Hear different advertising and marketing before they actually go and purchase something. So the fact that we're getting so many people to see the Deerfield Valley, some of the pictures, it's getting into their mindset that possibly when it comes time, they will remember, it'll click, hey, that's right, saw that XYZ and go. So I know myself and Vicky has watched, I click through stuff. And a lot of times there's those little clicks, I will go, wow, that's pretty cool, I'm gonna go through that. So you're not gonna get everybody, but the fact that we're getting people to look at things and see what we have available is, it's not cheap. There's no doubt about it, Jim, it's not cheap. But my thing is, if you have something that could work better than what people do on a regular basis in other towns and businesses, I'm all ears to try something to get that out there.
Eric first.
That click-through rate the 22 seconds represents them getting to the landing page that the ads bring them to. That doesn't represent them spending time on the rest of the site. It's just that landing page that they get to. So.
Jim.
Should that not be measured someplace that would be presented? If you land on the page and it points you to the sawmill, shouldn't you be able to see that in some metric?
Yeah, I can ask Tim Dolan, who's the marketing director, how much of that data they have on the website side. I don't manage that website, so I don't have those answers for you.
So let's ask Tim to follow back up here and answer some more questions. That's good? Yeah. Thank you. Anything else for public comments? All right, we're gonna move into unfinished business, which is review and possibly approve the FY 25-26 budget. So there were some new capital tweaks on the numbers that came out this afternoon, so I don't know if everybody had a chance to, if they were minor. Moving a few things, increasing some fire apparatus numbers and things like that. In terms of money. Does anybody have any concerns? Changes they want to make? I mean, this is really, we're getting kind of down to the line. All department reports need to be, reports need to be in on Friday, so this is going to the printer as soon as and you can get it together. Yeah. Comments on the budget? On the right general, let's just do the town budget and then we'll look at the capital budget. Nothing? Scott?
I just didn't get to look at those changes yet.
The ones from this afternoon are not large and they aren't affecting this year necessarily.
Okay. Yeah, that's the only thing I didn't see.
No?
So just looking, and you don't have a crystal ball for our trash situation. Do you think it's stabilized, Travis, pricing on that?
For the time being, yes. I hope so.
I mean, I just feel like we're like. That's a big, they've gone up a lot, I can't see them going up any more. But that's one budget item I'm just concerned with that.
And that's fair. I think that's fair.
I think two is.
Okay. But Joe, continue.
And the other thing too is that we should hopefully see some revenue, Tabby is supposed to be coming in. And we should see a little bit of a revenue increase on permitting, which she's gonna come to us with increasing the permitting process. Up to more of what's, is in line with what other towns are charging. So we should see an increase, at least some revenue coming in. So that should be not a lot, but a little bit. to help out, but who knows how much building or stuff will go on this upcoming year too. So, I don't know. So it's just a couple. FYIs that I was concerned about.
Do we have Marco, do we have a good handle on how much revenue we're taking in at the transfer station versus the overall cost of implementing on the whole transfer station? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, well, yeah, if you, like, if you were to look at, so for example, for last year. At the landfill. You had. Took in around $95,000. And if you look at the total expenses. You'll see that it is 202, we spent 202.
Okay. Actually, Kevin Stein had sent me an email asking me for that kind of information.
That's about right, I think year
Because-
over year,
Yeah, but I guess Wyndham Solid Waste, and I know Dan is our representative, they're really gonna focus on reduction of taking of input and trying to get people to really reduce
Right.
what they're putting in everywhere. So if we can, and that's an education piece.
Right.
So if we can jump on that in some way too, that can also help us.
Yeah, we can have some prior years available as well, just to see if how it's
Right.
trending. I'm sure the cost definitely gone up, but the revenue is more or less about.
Also,
See.
with his new system, the new pay system up there, tracking everything, so.
That would be very
It's gonna be
valuable.
huge for us, for Marco and for us making the budget next year, when we're able to go back and see like what we spent on this track, what we spent on. You know, the tires and the demo boxes, and like all those transactions are going through that computer system, so. We'll have a pretty good idea.
And then we can
Up and
see
coming.
if some of these different items, categories are
Yeah.
out of line and we can
Yeah.
adjust
Yeah,
potentially.
right.
Well,
You know.
So. We probably should go up on our trash fees. There's no and ifs or buts about it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Moving forward. We need to be somewhat in line with what Wilmington charges to just curb. Extra traffic coming from our, all I would say.
That's a good comment. Yes.
Wyndham Solid Waste Management's putting out a bid to get somebody else besides Casella to pick up from all the towns. Because they know everyone is complaining.
Oh, so they're looking to put in a bid to help out the town for their haul.
Mhm,
I think it's a big thing.
mhm.
Well, we might be able to help with that, right? We get the freight piece of equipment.
Right.
Mhm.
Or at least
So,
the empty one we need to.
How much difference do we know the difference between AAA and Casella has been? Just off the top of your head.
I have no idea.
But that Triple T is now part of
It
Casella,
is Casella.
as
Well,
It
was,
is Casella,
is TAM, they were the other hauler.
Question?
but they charge us less than Casella does.
But it has gone up at least 60% on the side of the tonnage, and the trucking has probably gone up pretty.
Trucking is double. Yeah,
They double the truck.
yeah. Yeah, from what we used to pay
So it's,
in our trucking, it's double.
so. If you were to take your per ton with your trucking, it's probably increased by 75–80% in the last 3 to 4 years. From when the whole takeover was, from 2021 to now. But our fees have stayed the same, so it's costing us, we've subsidized
Right.
more of the dump as taxpayers, and not that it's a bad thing or good thing, we want trash to go to the dump, so that's the very fine line of. You don't want to be cleaning it up everywhere, you get my correct. So, it's a very fine line.
Anything else? On the town budget? Does somebody want to make a motion then to approve the town budget that is a 7% increase?
So I make a motion that we approve the fiscal year 2025-2026 budget for presentation to the voters
That's,
as follows. Operational, $2,768,818.01. Highway, $1,945,435.90. Capital paving,
Oh,
600,000.
well, I think we just wanna, we haven't even talked about the other,
Oh, okay, all right, sorry. So just
the
operational.
operational and
Okay. So
withdrawal.
what I said up till 90 cents.
Any other comments? All in favor?
uh,
Now we're gonna look at capital paving.
Other question,
Yes,
Joe, how much more this, moving to charge, a bag and stuff? You don't know.
oh, I know,
I,
it's a lot, not so much on the bag charge, it's on the demo. And all the other things that. go with
Construction.
Construction, their fee structure is a lot more detailed than ours is. for things. And they charge for metal where we don't. Which is okay by me, because we get our money back for the metal. So I'd rather people throw away the metal properly. So yes, it is big.
okay,
thank you.
You're
all
welcome.
right, capital paving. Um. Any concerns, questions? All right, Sarah?
I just have
Okay,
a question for Travis, just in general, how he thinks all the paving has been working out. Has he been like happy with it? Has it been good? Has there been any issues that have arisen? Is it still going according to plan?
It's still going according to plan. I've been very happy with our result we've been getting from the company we've been hiring. Things seem to be holding up pretty well. Yeah, I think we're doing okay, and we're moving in the direction of getting some of these smaller roads buttoned up and. Yeah, it's gonna, I think it's a good move. I think we're doing well.
And so is it freeing up like time that you're not having to work on all those roads, and that's actually allowing people to do some other stuff, or?
That, and it's freeing up a lot of the resources that are becoming unavailable, such as our gravel banks and sand. These
Essentially,
things are
financially,
becoming-
it's still been a solid move.
Yeah, yes, just keep plugging away at it, we're doing, yes.
and just as a sidelight, on our capital paving budget, all the paving that we're proposing for the fiscal year 25-26 is new pavement,
Correct.
Oh,
all of it,
Yep.
so,
That's huge.
all right. Any other questions about the capital paving budget? So somebody want to make a motion?
Make a motion that we present to the voters, capital paving for the 2025-2026 fiscal year of $600,000.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now we're gonna move on to capital equipment, and this is one of the ones that had some tweaking of prices in the 27, 28, 28, 29, and 29, 30 years. If I'm reading this right, we had 850, and 1.2 million, and now we have 977,500 and 977,500 and $1,380,000 for fire equipment. Engine, ladder, utility, not utility. Engine,
And ladder truck.
yeah, and ladder truck. So those are the changes. It doesn't, it's not affecting what we're asking. A $650,000 contribution to that fund this year.
Are we asking the voters to do a separate line item for the ladder truck? Did we? decide?
That is not on the warning for tonight.
Okay,
I don't know if we flushed that out or not yet.
okay, okay.
Any questions about capital equipment? Somebody want to make a motion then to approve the capital equipment?
I move that we present to the voters a budget of $650,000 for the capital equipment line for the 2025-2026 budget year.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Now moving to the capital building plan. I just saw one change on this, something moved off, and I didn't bring the old one I had. It was in the 26-27 year. Something, a description over here, it wasn't, it was, I don't remember what it was. So it isn't, again, it's not a change affecting 25-26. There were,
Maybe we added something in 26-27. Is that what you meant?
But we're not seeing, there's nothing on. the
maybe this
building
is
plan
an
for
old one,
26,
I had,
27. Oh, that's the old one.
I don't know, I
Okay.
had so many of
There's
them
too many
today,
of
it's
them.
been.
We need to start numbering them as they come
Yeah,
out.
I know, right? Oh, and I print them and then I'm like, what is this? Okay, yes. This $5,000 town garage
Reseal.
to reseal the roof, that's
Yeah.
it, thank you.
Yep.
And then there is a typo at the bottom of the page, it says 24-25. It should be 26-27. And I did see that earlier today. So any questions about capital building plan?
We have a request from Linda about downstairs. Did we?
Did she submit anything?
No, I don't think so.
Work for in the assessor's office, Scott? Did she give you anything specific? Did we have an inspection? Do you know?
She had, unfortunately, Scott, I get your emails. And she had sent one saying there's a waste of heat keeping the door open to address mold, and the dehumidifier runs 24/7. So the heat is raised, and then the ramp door needs to have weather stripping. Was in one of her emails, but I don't know that we ever went anywhere in terms of getting pricing for that.
I don't think that's too much capital, it sounds like something Dave might be able to look at, weather stripping around.
Well, the weather stripping, yes, but she's talking about the heat loss because of the mold, because the door has to be kept open to the lower level because of mold. The dehumidifier is running 24/7, and because of that, then the heat has to be turned up to accommodate. So I don't know that it's necessarily. I don't know how to address that. It sounds like what we need to do is have somebody come in who can talk to us about how to,
I could,
from an engineering
The efficiency.
efficiency.
We got-
Yes.
Is that from our efficiency study? that we
No,
had?
this came from a comment from Linda about what she's noticing in the building. And so it's not addressed in here, but I don't know if we wanna, if we have any desire to set some.
I don't know how we address it when we don't know what the
Right.
problem is at this
Okay.
point,
Right.
but it doesn't mean that we can't find the money potentially to, and if it's, we should fix it. So, but we need to ask the right people to try to reach out for help
Mm,
and first start with Dave and then move from that to the next level, but sometimes these levels don't always happen in that.
we have a system in place, did she ever, any of this?
I
Has
haven't
Dave
heard
heard
anything
this?
yet,
So-
I don't know.
Dave is usually the first one on that should look and then go to Travis and Travis should.
And then we move it up the chain. Yeah,
We've-
Okay,
all right,
I'll look at it.
okay.
so we're not gonna worry about it, and regarding budget, this is not an issue,
Alright.
not a conversation.
And it's a little late to just start having this conversation.
Mhm.
Okay, anything else about the capital building plan?
All right, I make a motion that we present to the voters, capital building proposal of $120,000 for the fiscal year 2025-2026.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then we have, the last piece of this is the appropriations that are warned. We have a new one this year that was put on by petition by the Southern Vermont Transit Association for $4,000. And then we have, Dover Free, we have Eastover Fire Department. I'm getting there. We, it's the 20,000 for the Historical Society. And we also have Different Valley Rescue and Sevens. I think that's it.
Ash,
And Sash.
but, Eastover Fire is not a warrant part.
That's right, sorry.
No, that's.
So many pieces of paper. So, and they total $348,077. So that's more of a, that's an FYI, because those will be voted on at town meeting now.
Okay.
Okay,
So I make a motion that we present to the voters appropriations warned as articles in a total of $348,077 for the 2025-2026 fiscal year.
Second.
discussion. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Right on schedule for like a normal meeting. New business. Review, approve the 2025 town meeting warning. And consider the increase in justice of the peace from 5 to 7. And everybody have a chance to look at the warning that was shared?
Yep, I looked at it.
Mhm.
So we do have a new article, number 9. Which is to asking the voters if they want to establish a reserve fund. To be called the Town Hall Library Well Capital Reserve Fund. To be used for maintenance, repair and or replacement of the well serving. The town hall and library and fund it with $165,216.41. From the general fund surplus in accordance to 24 VSA section 2804. So that's one article to move that surplus we created.
Mhm.
And establish a fund that is dedicated to. Town hall and library water systems. So that's a new article. Everything else is pretty much. Typical articles that we do with. Different numbers. Anybody have any concerns about the warning?
Just a question.
Yes, Scott.
We approve it? Are we approving it tonight? When is it, if we say, if there needs to be a change or something was to be changed on that, when's the latest that could be done by?
Andy,
So, I was hoping that you could sign it tonight. We, need, of course, to put it in the town report, and we're doing the town report for the next week or two. And your next meeting, if you weren't able to sign it tonight, we could possibly get it done in your next meeting, but we will have already sent the files to the printer prior to your next meeting in order to get the town reports when we normally like to get them ahead of town meeting. So if you're able to sign this tonight, that would be wonderful. Now, if you want to make small administrative changes that don't affect more or less what you're approving, we can handle that. Is it perfectly by the book to do that? No, but if somebody makes a typo in a number and we have to fix it, or if you anticipate a change, we can handle that. or you can handle that if you're comfortable doing that. I am.
Sarah,
And just as a point of order, am I right that if we put the warning in? And then between now and town meeting, we realized something needs to be changed, we can request an amendment at town meeting on the article in question. Not an
Absolutely.
ideal, but
Absolutely.
we always have that as a backstop.
Absolutely. Now, if you make a big mistake and it's warned improperly, that may cause problems we can't fix.
Okay.
But I don't see any big mistakes there. That's where.
Thank you.
did that answer your question, Scott?
Yes, it did. I,
Yeah,
I would like to, I'd probably rather not prove it tonight then.
okay. Can we ask why?
That's why.
Is there a specific article you have a concern about?
Yes, I mean, I didn't want to share it like this, but there might, I don't even know the right way to go about it. I don't know if it made sense to add another position to be voted upon for a select board.
What, say that again, I didn't understand that.
I'm saying I plan to step down off the select board. I meant to come in and I just would rather put it out and have it voted. I could stay on. But I don't, if there was an easy transition, and I don't know if you have to put another position on there.
Oh, so he's saying
He's
that
asking-
you were planning to resign from the select board. And you wanted to know whether we should just
Appoint your-
Warn another
appoint your replacement and get another term of select
stay
board.
on the town meeting. I really didn't want it to come out like this, and I wish I'd gotten something in earlier. I just don't think I'm giving enough, I don't think I'm giving enough time that this position warrants, and I appreciate everyone at the town too much to not give it the time that it deserves. And
Hold
Yeah. So if I
on.
could.
Yes,
So
Jim.
what I talked a little with Scott, he'd like to resign as a town meeting, but he'd like to be able to put it out. That someone could be on and warned, and this would be, we talked a little bit to let Andy know, can we put something on there and warn for his term? Upon, because he's resigning, what is the best, because we don't wanna have,
yeah, I would rather not have like another, whole election.
meeting or whatever.
Just do it all at once and
Okay,
Yes.
Andy,
So, we can make a warning tonight with a pen reflecting that there will be an open position for town meeting. What you wanna consider is that petitions need to be back to me by January 27th. And so somebody would have to decide to run for that, get signatures and get it back to me in order to have a name on the ballot. The alternative is that you resign and then following town meeting, you are replaced either by appointment or a special town meeting, whatever the board decides. And that's really up to the board, how you guys wanna handle that.
yeah, and so I
hold on, Joe had his hand up.
So, because we're all together at town meeting and say we don't have enough write-ins or whatever, well, we wouldn't know. Could we appoint someone to him that someone would wanna do it at town meeting and then have the townspeople vote on it that are on the floor? Can that be done or no?
No, you guys would appoint.
So we still have to do the appointment.
Yeah, what you're saying is that his position would not be on the ballot, correct?
I'm saying that we may not be able to get someone to sign. If we put his on there, we don't have anyone sign on it. It's still gonna be on there, and then you can do a write-in, correct? We're gonna
Yes,
do
they'd
that.
have to get 15 votes,
Right.
which generally they don't, but if somebody ran a campaign, they could for sure.
But there's not a way that we could if he decided to say, I'm gonna resign, there's no way that we can at town meeting. Say someone comes forward and have say we have 2 or 3 people that, yeah, we would like to do it, you know, coming into town meeting, we couldn't have a vote of hiring a select board member at town meeting when everyone's there.
Like, oh, so like
You
a
mean like
voice
from the
vote? No,
No, not in
No.
Dover.
If they're- No, not over like that school.
We elect officers by
Only by
Australian
vote.
ballot.
Right, okay, so long as true.
Yeah.
Got it.
yes, Mike.
Just so we know, how many signatures does a person need prior to January 27th to be on? the ballot?
15 Dover voters.
Alright, well, when we.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
um,
My apologies, obviously I didn't mean for it to come out,
wow,
and I wanted to be there, and it's not an easy decision to make, and like I said, I feel like I appreciate this position too much, and I know the time that everyone puts into this and what the townspeople and the staff and everything deserve, and I just feel like at this point I I don't have the time that I can put into it.
So,
hold on.
Good.
Yep,
because we do have the papers, okay, you're definitely gonna resign, because Mike's gonna probably print some of the paper, so he's shaking his head.
so, and we would like a letter of resignation, please.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need
On there,
Thank you, Scott.
And we appreciate you staying on till town meeting.
Yeah.
That can be.
If-
Alright.
That's, I mean, this is your decision, but if you can, that would help us.
No, yeah, I am willing, of course, to do that, and I hate that it's come to this and that it came out like this too. I'm sorry.
Well, we're sorry to be losing you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for letting us know. So if that's the way it's gonna work, then we should approve this tonight. I don't see any other issues.
Hmm.
So, do you feel that you're gonna put his position on the
No.
warning or not?
So it would be basically 2 years of a 3-year term remaining, I believe.
I can go check and make sure we'll get it right. But I don't know,
I feel okay putting it on there, I would rather people, hopefully, number one, come and maybe put a petition in for it. But I'd rather have the people have a say, even if they do a write-in at town meeting. Than us just doing the appointing of it, if it comes to that, that's the last. What I would prefer is the last choice for us as a select board at that point.
And then we could appoint them temporarily, or we could go without a board member and just have another election. Those are all options.
Yeah, it makes more sense just to try to get it going and get someone elected as opposed to trying to have another meeting, getting all the people together. It logistically is a much smoother transition in my opinion.
Yes, Andy.
yeah, I agree with Joe.
Yeah,
What's the worst that's gonna happen if we put it on there?
Hmm.
Correct.
nobody actually runs. And then we just get
Right.
people with write-ins and,
I'll go get his term. We'll get it right.
yeah, I think you ran on a 3-year term last time, Jack, there, Scott.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah, it was just last year.
yeah, 3-year term expiring March 26th.
Okay,
So let's add that to Article 1.
yep,
March 26th, it's
Yeah.
1 year. Right? Because he'll be elected in 25 and his term
I
expires.
don't think I was elected the year before.
Yeah, that's what I'm
so
saying.
it's maybe just a 1-year.
Andy, I found this was on the town website,
Okay, he's gonna check it.
but I don't know if we trust the town website.
That's probably correct.
Okay, so it would be 1 year of a 3-year term.
Yeah.
Okay,
That looks correct.
so let's add, does the board want to add that to the warning? A 1 year remaining on a 3-year term?
Make that move.
Okay. So we can probably get that added. Is Jeanette gonna add that right now?
So if you're gonna sign, we'll just pencil it right in there. I can do it for you.
Okay,
And then when you sign it, you sign what you should sign, and then we'll type up a new
okay.
version. Okay.
All right. So our town clerk has just added. Select board member, 3-year term, 1 year remaining as the third select board member up for election this year, available for election this year. Any other changes to this warning?
No,
Somebody want to make a motion? We approve the warning?
I make a motion, we approve the warning as amended.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Scott said aye too.
And what about the increase of the JP positions?
That's in here. We just approved it.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so we should all sign the signature page. Scott may not be able, you know if you can come in and sign it?
No.
Probably not.
Can you stop in?
Tomorrow, I think tomorrow afternoon, I could probably come in.
What is this, December, November, October?
This is
So that's December. But it is December, he's up to, he's staying up to. He's stuff giving you right time. This is December.
Joe, could you sign that so it doesn't get messed into the other stuff? And here are the front 2 pages that we signed as well. And give it to Jeanette. Thank you.
Scott, did you say you could come in to sign this at some point?
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the Economic Development Department, the Horace Hill parking lot agreement.
So this agreement was drafted by Mr. Kaplan's legal representation and reviewed by ours. I did make changes which were approved by Mr. Kaplan today. Sarah did bring up one point that the change that was made was that maintenance and construction projects on the parking lot requiring match from the town of Dover shall be discussed prior to completion to ensure the outside hiring is necessary and that the cost is within the scope of possibility. Sarah would like to see the term completion changed, the wording to represent that we would have the discussion before the work was started. So
Are saying discuss prior to contracting for such services, so before he makes a commitment.
Yeah, I think
I
that's
think
good.
that works.
Yeah.
And he should be fine with that. So if we can approve from our side tonight, then when I'll update and he can sign as well. I think what he's asking for is completely reasonable. We need the parking. And I think the only thing that we've been looking for going forward is that if we were going to be on the hook financially, that we had a say in how those things happened. And I think that this provides us that. You know, in talking with Mr. Kaplan, obviously the 5 years is the starting point, and we want to see that relationship continue on after that. It's just that this is where we're starting. So this starts with us, you know, covering the half of the expansion, the 8,000 that was done this last summer. He has not yet received plowing and sanding bills for this season or invoices, so he expects them to be on par with last year, and that's what's covered in this agreement, is that we would help with those expenses. And it also would make it so that both of us were named as additional insured on each other's insurance liability policies.
Well, the cost is gonna be higher because the parking lot is larger.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the snow. I mean, it's the snow,
Seasonal contract,
yeah, it's a seasonal.
so it should be more. Okay. I would think.
Okay. So with that change, we can sign the signature page and that change can be,
Yeah, is that? We need to sign this.
in front of a notary.
Okay, that's fair.
You got a couple of them.
Front
right
of
here.
a notary. Well, this is a very unusual meeting.
Everyone get their IDs out.
That's right.
No,
It's just the way the
the way it-
formatting.
It's kind of odd, actually. It seems like it should,
Yeah.
yeah, like the pages ought to be numbered at least then, so that you don't realize that something just dropped out. you know?
Yeah, no, it's the formatting, so A should be back up under.
It's there.
It's something, I think,
We got notaries.
Minister of Religion.
Notarized.
All right, and so it says duly authorized agent, so me,
Yeah.
okay. So we need a motion.
Swear you?
You need to see our.
Well, we have to approve, we have to vote to approve.
Oh,
this.
right.
So I make a motion that we approve the Forest Hill parking lot agreement as revised and subject to approval of the revision by the other party. So,
Hold
and
on.
authorize Vicky Capitani as board chair to act as the duly authorized agent.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Now I have to.
Yeah, you're good. No oath,
No,
no swearing. No pains and penalties of perjury.
the top of that page, can we put? Was it the eighth?
Yeah.
The 8th day of, and then cross out 2024 and put 25.
today's the seventh.
7th, sorry, so 7th here.
Or you are.
Mhm. Perfect. Hold on, Eric, how are we gonna get Rich to sign this?
I'll have them come.
Okay, so you want to take this back?
Sure.
I mean, yes, Mike.
I'm sorry that I missed public comments, but I have two things that I'd like to say that the whole economic development.
Okay, well, can we do that at the end of the meeting? Because we're gonna go into the Board of Liquor Control and then at the very end.
I just didn't want to miss it.
Okay,
FYI, it's hard to hear Mike.
it's hard to hear, Mike?
I'm pretty sure that's Mike who just spoke, but
Yeah,
When it's your
I
turn to
know
talk,
it's-
we'll bring you on.
okay.
Make a motion that we go into the Board of Liquor Control.
Second.
All in favor?
Motion to approve the first class liquor license for Southern Vermont Hospitality LLC DBA Last Chair Pizza and Grill. And the first class and third class and outside consumption permits for Southern Vermont Hospitality LLC DBA Black Diamond Bar and Grill. And Mike said that they were okay before he left.
Second. You don't have my thing.
All in favor? He was here and he said they were okay.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to come out of the Board of Liquor Control.
Second.
All in favor? We have the consent agenda, which is to approve the minutes of December 17th, 2024.
Were we all here? Make a motion that we approve the minutes of December 17th, 2024.
Second.
Any corrections? Changes? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We have the warrants to approve from December 21st, 2024, in the amount of $333,120.
I make a motion that we approve the warrants of December 21st, 2024 for $333,120.
Second.
Any discussion on the warrants? All in favor?
Aye.
Scott hasn't seen them, right?
Yeah.
So it's one abstention.
Abstention. Yeah, abstain, sorry.
And the warrants for January 4th, 2025, in the amount of $173,882.68.
Make a motion that we approve the warrants for January 4th, 2025 for $173,882.68.
Second.
Any discussion on those warrants? All in favor? Aye. All right, now we're gonna move into FYI, so I guess I'll take Mike's comments first, so.
Thanks again, happy new year. This public comments in, now in the meeting. So I think in the past, the town in conjunction with Mount Snow has bought 500 to 1,000 blinking lights for the internationals. To be passed out to the internationals as they're walking down the streets, during the season. Have we ever bought those LED?
The town has not, you and I have spoken about it, and I told Brian about it, so I know that he had purchased some because his department heads. I have not had a chance to speak to Lita, as of yet, so it would be Thursday, I think would be earliest I can mention it to her.
I think depending on how that discussion goes with Mount Snow providing for the internationals, we should think about doing it if they don't. If they've done it in the past and they're willing to do it, that's a great thing, and I think it's beneficial when they're walking up.
Okay.
the streets.
I don't think the town has ever bought them, so. For the internationals.
If Mount Snow does not purchase for the internationals, then I think it's a good idea for us to hand out to the internationals.
We'll take that under advisement.
Okay. Number two, it's come to my attention that there's been sledding families down the vast trail on Horace Hill.
Okay.
I need to know the town's stance on sledding down the vast trail, number one, so I could possibly put out a warning that it should not be done. If you have people sledding down the steep vast trail and us going up the vast trail, it's
Highly
a possible
dangerous.
problem.
Yeah.
I don't know what the town stance is on sledding in all of Horace Hill. So you might wanna think about what that is.
Okay, can I respond?
Yes, you may.
Okay, this is actually the first time hearing of sledding in Horace Hill, so I don't have a stance as of right now. But now that you brought it to my attention, you should be until the next meeting to get that.
I can give you as much time as you need, but snowmobile season is happening now. That's why I didn't bring it to your next committee meeting,
Right.
thinking that.
So-
snowmobile is
Hold on. So that's why I'd like to have this as have had this as an agenda item so that people would be aware of it. I think we need to do some research about all of Horace Hill and sledding, agreed. Vast Trail, in my opinion, we should not be sledding on the Vast Trail, and that's a steep trail, and so there should be some signage. Yes,
So probably one of the first things that we should do is because it is a multi-use area. Okay, that we should ask the VAST. If they could put some signs down that hill coming out of Horace Hill is a heavily trafficked and multi-use area. And make sure snowmobilers know to maybe slow down, or maybe we should limit the speed. And I know that everyone thinks to go, don't talk, just think about. I mean, I'm just trying to say for right now. That would probably be the best solution. As for sledding. It was not did we ever have anyone sledding in there in the past at all? No. So this is the first that you've seen actual people going in and sledding.
Sleds.
Bringing sleds, like parking in the parking lot and going there. for sledding.
No, I think they're approaching it from the top, from the golf course side and sledding down.
So we obviously have to give that some, not to talk with Vicky, but just as a select board member myself, that's something we have to think, discuss, and move forward with some sort of solution. But I think the quickest, easiest solution is maybe to put a little bit of a signage out there that please be aware that it's a multi-use area. Don't put that there's sledding, and then we should hopefully by next meeting or get back to what our stance is gonna be on that, and maybe we do need to put some signage at the park, but we'll have to discuss it before we.
We already have multi-use signs throughout across town,
Okay.
and we can put more in Horace Hill, but none of them really address out of control sledding. The uses
Agreed.
are downright skiing.
Agreed. Yeah.
Eric,
I think the idea has always been that there's a possibility that a hiker, a snowshoer, possibly even a cross-country skier could be on the vast trip, right? And that's, like you said, in crosstown, sledding is not something we've ever come across before on any of our recreation properties. In my mind, you know, there's probably 40-something other acres that can be done on, so I'll discuss with the
Yeah.
board, we'll get it on the agenda for the next meeting, and I will address.
I just want to bring up this.
no, thank you. That was something we were not aware of, clearly.
Wouldn't even thought of it to go there and do that.
All right, continuing on. I have the
Can I just make a
information.
comment?
Excuse me?
Can I just make a comment on that?
Yes,
Lower my hand. I just think we should definitely put something up like no sledding, which would seem really obvious, but something like that, just so we're protected, and definitely Joe's idea that it's multi-use, just so we're, we're making people aware and we're saying that's out there. I think that would be a good idea too, but a no sledding, I know it's the first thing that's.
I think we could, I personally, as I think more and more about this, that we did not design the park for sledding, we designed it for snowshoeing, backcountry skiing, we didn't design it for that use, so. I have no problem making that decision, but I'd rather just make sure we discuss it and do things correctly. I don't think that is a sledding, be a sledding hill area. It's a whole different components of things.
okay, well, we're gonna get it on the agenda. There'll be recommendations what we should
Right.
do, and we will discuss it at that point, because this is an item that we should not take any action on right now because it wasn't warned. And nobody had any idea that this was coming up at the end of the meeting, but I appreciate you bringing it to us.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay, now we're moving on to the 2024 equalization study. This is results. Under FYI. The news, our CLA is 61.71%. Our coefficient of dispersion is 21.32%. We're heading into the appraisal. Obviously, this town is way out of compliance with the state's guidelines,
We
so.
are way wet.
Do we know where we stand next to other towns?
Oh, there's some that are worse.
So-
We're getting pretty close to the bottom with this 61. It's pretty low, but luckily we are under contract and there's other towns who need to do this as well, and there are no resources to get that done. In the next 5 years. Can I have a copy of this? I'd appreciate that. All right, we also have Water Task Force Committee meeting tomorrow at 5 PM. At the firehouse. Trails and Rec meeting on the 14th at 6 PM. We have any liaison reports?
No,
I hear none. We are gonna have an executive session for personnel. So at this point. We'll end our public meeting.
Mike Garber. Mike.
Right at 7:00.
We are just
Make a motion to
adjourn. Just let the people leave and.
Vote town, or you're registered voter, or first time, are you going? And we are.